Be part of our successful team. Visit Laitram.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
I mentioned it before, I'll mention it again. Google the Jetsons and how many devices these cartoon folks came up with in the 60s that are, futuristic, didn't exist yet, that we have today. So many.
Is by outright.
Wow, 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 wow. Well, New Orleans sounding trumpet there. Here comes Chopsticks on the piano. That's all I could play, I think. That, of course, is none other than Mr. Drew Brees. Soon to be Saints Hall of Famer Drew Brees, number 9. Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you. A wide open Wednesday edition of the program. I love Wide Open Wednesday because you're the show producer on Wide Open Wednesday. Yeah, I got my show sheet chock full of topics like a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. But on Wide Open Wednesday, a little more carte blanche for you. Maybe a topic I'm not discussing enough. Maybe a topic I'm not discussing at all. You're welcome to fire in. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines. Going to give away a few $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates in a little while. Father's Day is Sunday. Father's Day this Sunday. Miss Peaches, that means 3 different gift cards for you. Johnny, Mr. Jimmy, and of course your first husband, Frankie, who we love. And all those children you got, they're all fathers, Miss Peaches. Yep, 3 times married, 3 times divorced. I did it one time. Miss Peaches says 3 times is the way to go. So we'll see. I'll try to catch you, Miss Peaches. Anyway, I do like Frankie. I've met him. He is a nice guy, but I also understand why he divorced Miss Peaches. Anyway, she's got to get 3 $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift cards because Father's Day is this Sunday, ladies. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Tomorrow, another edition of Hillier and Hennigan. I love getting these guys on. Couple of New Orleans born and bred cats that pretty much took off after college and have really not returned. But they're nationwide political pundits. They get us because they're from here. But they're national guys, authors, right-leaning Quinn Hillier, left-leaning Ellis Hennigan. That's tomorrow. Another edition of Hillier and Hennigan. The annual Crime Coalition survey, a poll out. Mayor LaToya Cantrell approval rating. Maybe it's Mayor LaToya Cantrell disapproval rating. About 6 out of 10 New Orleanians disapprove of the job that the mayor's doing. About 6 out of 10. It's amazing that 3 out of 10 approve of the job that she's doing. In the black population in New Orleans, it's almost 1 out of 2. It's 46%. Black folks in New Orleans, what's wrong with you? That's such a politically incorrect statement. Hey, Miss Peaches, they'll, whoever they are, they'll pull that little clip and say, typical Johnson, this is what he does every day. This is his show. Black folks in New Orleans, what's wrong with you? 46% approval rating for LaToya the Destroyer Cantrell amongst the black community. No, I know black folks are listening right now going, dang, Corey's right, 46%. That's ridiculous. Agreed. The flip side, though, I mean, I kind of like this number, but it's ridiculously low. The white community, LaToya Cantrell's approval rating is 11%. I mean, 11% is just hard to do, even when it falls on racial lines. So I would think the black 46%, you just have some black folks that, man, black is all encompassing. And, Freddie Cinderblock is the mayor. It's literally a cinder block, but it's black. 46% approval rating. And then there are white people, the exact same mentality that are just white is all encompassing. So the mayor, instead of, in reality for black folks, I'm just making up numbers. It should be like a 30% approval rating. And for white folks, it should be like a 20%, something like that, which are abysmally low and pathetic and weak and a joke. But 11% is like, it's almost not even measurable. And 46% is absurdly high. Like almost 1 in 2 black folks satisfied with LaToya Cantrell. That just yells. Then 1 in 2 black folks in New Orleans, very broken, concerned about color, race more than results. 1 in 2, 46%. And also the diametric opposite. There's some white folks that just, black woman, blah, You're making me carry these gold bricks. They're heavy. Like no matter what, they're against it. So 11% yells a little racism and sexism, and 46% yells, I got to, stick with the black person kind of thing. Both numbers are sort of extreme, kind of a little polarizing, wouldn't you say? Anyway, the average numbers seem about right. 31% approve. 60% disapprove. The city council has a 48% approval rating, a 37% disapproval. NOPD, 50% approval, only 20% disapprove. DA, 45% approve, 38% disapprove. Last year, the numbers were like the opposite. So Jason Williams goes from last year, a higher disapproval rating. This year, a higher approval rating. Flip-flop the numbers. 3 days, 3 crashes, 3 Troop N, 3 Troop NOLA car chases, 5 arrests made. Monday, a Corvette chase. The Corvette was reportedly doing some stunt driving recklessly. 911 call. Police show up. The Corvette takes off. Elysian Fields, North Robinson, crashes into a fire hydrant on Monday. 2 arrested in the Corvette. Tuesday, stolen vehicle. Calliope, Calliope, Carondelet. 2 arrested, multiple counts. And today, a stolen car. Crash I-10, Orleans off-ramp, 1 arrested. Troop N going after the folks in vehicles that don't pull over when asked to pull over, run when pulled over after the fact, stolen vehicle, Corvette doing crazy driving, and so much so where civilians called 911 to report it, and Troop N out there getting it done. Gotta like the results of Troop N. I think Troop N is like a dozen troopers right now and 3 or 4 vehicles. Wait till it's a full contingency. It's 40 or 50 officers, a fully manned Troop N. That is a difference maker. Who was talking about, man, bring in state police, bring in Jefferson Parish sheriff deputies, off duty, have them detail as NOPD. 1 NOPD guy in the car, 1 Jefferson Parish cop. Gotta fix this problem. Bring in civilians to do paperwork and stuff that NOPD officers, boots on the ground, those cops don't have time to do. No, they've been implementing some of those obvious things like the state police, Troop N. Brilliant. Now, I remember I was at French Quarter Fest years ago eating some Treyen with an officer from Troop N. Didn't even know it existed. This is like a decade ago. And then they dissolved it and brought it back. I remember they're like, yeah, we're in a temporary building and someone's donating a building for us to use. That was like a decade ago. 4 decades ago today, the 1984 World's Fair opened up. I was just a young pup. Miss Peach is a little older than me. She manned one of the attractions at the 1984 World's Fair. You don't have to name that attraction. Name any attraction from the 1984 World's Fair. And I've got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate for you. 50 big bucks, good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480, 766-9480. Hey, Baton Rouge, Helm Paint and Decorating now in the capital city. For over 55 years in New Orleans, 7 Metro New Orleans locations, Benjamin Moore Paint, free 2-hour delivery. Now 4 Metro Baton Rouge locations, Benjamin Moore Paint, free 2-hour delivery. Yeah, Tiger Town, when it's time to paint, Helm Paint and Decorating, 4 locations in Baton Rouge. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool, New Orleans. NOLAAC.com is your cool spot.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
The French bread of the city of New Orleans. Good to the last crumb. Leidenheimer French bread.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
For over 20 years, serving healthy, fresh, authentic Middle Eastern cuisine. Lebanon's Cafe. In the Carrollton section of Uptown on the streetcar line. Wednesday through Monday, 11 a.m. to 9:30. Lebanon's Cafe.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Hey, why aren't you at Katie's right now? Wednesday, midweek, wind down. Perfect time to get off work, head to Katie's, plop down at one of those bar stools, check out some flat screen TV sports action, chat with some New Orleans characters, the quintessential New Orleans neighborhood restaurant. Yeah, fade right into dinner with those old school New Orleans specialties. As New Orleans as it gets, Iberville, corner Talamacus, a few blocks behind Angelo Bracato's ice cream joint. Katie's in Mid-City. Corey Johnson with you, Wide Open Wednesday. Tomorrow, Thursday, another edition of Hillier and Hennigan. That'll be in the 4 o'clock hour. Annual Crime Coalition Survey. Mayor LaToya Cantrell approval rating, or do you call it disapproval rating? It's like the presidential choices. Trump and Biden, it's a bigger disapproval than approval. Same thing with the mayor. 60% disapprove, 31% give the mayor an approval rating. It's amazing. 3 out of 10 New Orleanians give the mayor a thumbs up. New Orleans is about 60% black. It's about 30+% white. And then it's, 5, 6, 7% other. So twice as many black folks as white folks. It was even bigger before Katrina, like 70% black. But about 60% black, 30% white. In the black community in New Orleans, Mayor LaToya Cantrell has a 46% approval rating. 46%. Which is kind of mind-blowing to me. That just seems ridiculously high. That nearly 1 in 2 black New Orleanian voters approve of what the mayor's doing. That just is insane. That's beyond illogical, crazy. It just yells to me that no matter what, some black folks are going to stick by black if it works or not. And then kind of the diametric opposite appears to be true, where I know a lot of folks that don't like the mayor are like, no, 11% sounds right. 11% is insanely low. I mean, you get 11%, I don't know how you could get to 11%. Seriously, approval rating. But in the white community, the mayor has an 11% approval rating, which tells me that a lot of folks that are white, they don't like the mayor because she's black. They don't like the mayor because she's a black woman. That's what that says to me. I might be wrong on both. I don't think I am. I think some black folks are going to go with black because it's black, no matter if it's broken or not. And they're giving the mayor a thumbs up because she's black. And at 46%, 1 out of 2, that's crazy. And the white at 11%, it's the opposite. It seems artificially low. So I think like the real number, when you take like the racist out of it, the sexist out of it, it's probably like 20, 25% in the white community, I would guess. And I think if you take the black person that's not so hell-bent on black, and just looks at it a little more realistically, I would think it's probably around 30%. So if the 46% approval rating in the black community is artificially high and the 11% approval rating in the white community is artificially low, I'm not saying they overlap, but the black is probably more like 1 in 3 approve and white's probably more like 1 in 5, 20 and 30% respectively. Anyway, polls are polls. I believe in them. They're obviously, it tells me there are a lot of people that aren't like me, black and white. There are a lot of people like me, black and white. Normal people, they know they're black or white. Black is different from being white because it's a minority in America. We don't have to go into the history of it all. White male, all that. We don't need to go into all that. I think glad to talk about it. 766-9480. Not scared to talk about it. 766-9480. But I think those numbers yell. Sadly, in 2024, you have a lot of black folks that black no matter what, and a lot of white folks that no black no matter what. That's just sad. 46% approval rating in the black community. That's embarrassing. 11% approval rating in the white community. It's just funny. I had to laugh, like sad and pathetic. You still have like a large percentage, not a majority, but a measurable percentage of white people that are just racist or sexist. Anyway, the annual Crime Coalition survey, Mayor LaToya Cantrell, overall 31% approval rating. 59% disapprove of the job she's doing. City Council, 48% approval rating, 37% disapprove. The NOPD, 49% approval rating, 20% disapprove. The DA, 45% approval rating, 38% disapprove. Boy, a sad day for anybody that loves sports, basketball especially. Mr. Clutch, Mr. Outside, the logo, Jerry West has passed away. One of the greatest players, figures in basketball, college, pro, international. Jerry West was the man. So influential. Major influence on basketball. College, one of the best players. 3-time All-American. Went to the 59 national championship game with West Virginia. They lost in the title game. He still was the most outstanding player. Olympics, gold medal winner. NBA, 9 finals. Brought the Lakers to 9 finals in 14 seasons. He was the MVP of the finals when they lost one year. 14 seasons, 14-time All-Star, 10-time All-NBA, 4-time All-Defensive Team, and they didn't even start that award until like halfway through his career. He led the NBA in scoring in 1970. He led the NBA in assists in 1972. Just ridiculous. Averaged 27 a game. Jerry West was for real. 27 a game, 7 assists a game, 6 rebounds a game. A very complete player. I mean, who has influenced basketball more than Jerry West? I'm not saying there isn't someone that's equal, maybe even bigger. Who is it? Who has influenced the game of basketball more than Jerry West? And boy, a great general manager career. Lakers, come on. 8-time NBA champion as an executive. 8 times. Jerry West passing away. He's a Naismith Hall of Famer, like in several different categories too, like as a player, as like an executive and contributor. And also I think that 1960 gold medal Olympic team he was on, that team is in the Naismith Hall of Fame. So he's like a 3-time at least Naismith Hall of Famer. HBO had a show a few years ago. It's a shame it was canceled. There's some good shows on cable that get canceled that are just so high quality. That Showtime, the Lakers show, was absolutely electric, especially the first season. They kind of tamed the character down. They lowered the volume on the Jerry West character. The first season, he was magic. Pun intended. It was incredible. He wasn't Magic Johnson. He was magic on the show. Just incredible. And it was obviously a Hollywood embellishment and exaggeration. I always got that. But it was just great, like taking the Jerry West character amping it up to a Hollywood level. It was incredible. And it only made me love, respect Jerry West more, even though there were a lot of eccentricities thrown in there. But it's Hollywood. It's embellishment. It's an exaggeration. That's the beauty of it. Suspending a little disbelief. It made me like Jerry West even more. But Jerry West or some of his folks maybe they didn't like the character. The producers tamed it down for season 2, which I thought was a mistake. It was still a great character in season 2. And then the show ended up being canceled. But it just shows you, they're showing you how competitive Jerry West was, how fiery he was, his influence on the game as a player. You know, how he hated losing a lot more than he loved winning. And just today, I was listening to so many quotes and comments from Jerry West on different players and what he says and how he breaks it down. Just incredible. Incredible. I mean, LeBron James, he's a Swiss Army knife. He's like, he should wring y'all's neck. He's talking to the media. He's like, you guys getting on him about the lack of championships, whatever. He's been to 6 straight. Just, name the player. He's breaking down their game. J.J. Redick was dogging Bob Cousy. He's like, what did J.J. Redick do again? And he's not being disrespectful. He's like, J.J. Redick was a very, very good player. He could shoot. He's a situational player. What did he do that changed games? He was talking about Bob Cousy. He's like, lack of respect, man. The guy's got all these championships because J.J. Redick said Bob Cousy played against firemen and electricians and stuff. Because these in the NBA back then, you worked in the off season to support your family. Even Jerry West and Bob Cousy. Archie Manning is a saint. Worked at the Oldsmobile dealership on Vets in the off season to make some extra cash. And Archie Manning was one of the highest paid players. So there was a different era back then. Anyway, Jerry West passing away. Just an incredibly cool character with absurd insight, hyper competitor, one of the greatest of all time. Wide Open Wednesday edition of the program. Corey Johnson with you.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
1970 was an exciting time in New Orleans. The first Jazz Fest was held, the city hosted its first Super Bowl, and the first Helm Paint location opened on Earhart Boulevard. While the floppy disk, mood rings, and pet rocks may have come and gone since the 70s, Helm Paint has grown to become your premier source for quality Benjamin Moore products, competitive pricing, and personal service. Please visit one of our locations today, and we'll meet our competitors' prices on any identical product. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer. Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson with you. Hey, Miss Peaches, I got a question for you. And you, the listening and viewing audience, 766-9480. I just thought about it today. I've been doing it for a while. Maybe I'm just reading into the teller, looking at me funny, and it was nothing. I go to the drive-thru, you got the little screen. And I might be depositing a check, and I will hit the send and the talk button, and then they pop up on the screen. You know, after whang, the tube thing goes in, and they've got it. I go, hey, how you doing? They're like, hi, how are you? Most of them know me and already know. It's like when I'm ordering food. Same thing, Corey, you know? So if they don't know me, or even if they do, I'll be like, hi, how you doing? They go like, fine. I'm like, great. And I'm like, hey, I'm just making a deposit. I don't need a receipt. I'll check it online. Thanks. And then I drive off. And today, you know, I thought about the quote I say, same thing every time. I don't need a receipt. I'll check it online. Thanks. Have a good day. Like, is it insulting to the teller in a way, or sort of rude, like, you might be an incompetent moron, I'm checking it online? I'm saying it like, you know, I just want to make sure my money goes into this entity, this institution, and I'm going to check it online. Nothing against you being a bank teller. I'm sure you're doing your job. I swear, there's nothing. I never ever thought about the teller ever. Strictly, I'm not getting a receipt physically from them. Want to make sure that deposit goes so I'm going to check it online. But I think by telling the teller that today, at least this look I got, like, what do you think? I'm not doing my job kind of thing. So I'm like, oh boy, should I just say, hey, I don't need a receipt. Thank you. Like, why am I giving the extra information? I'll check it online. Why did I subconsciously say that? Is it to push the teller to do their job unconsciously? Or was I just reaffirming to them, don't need the receipt. You know, I'll check it online because it's an institution and, you know, but I got the look that made me have some introspection. I think it is an added line that's unnecessary, though. Well, what do they care if you check it online or not? What do they get by me saying, I don't need a receipt, thank you? That's all they need to hear. But I'm adding this, I'll check it online line to them. Like, No, I know why I'm doing it, Miss Peaches, verification, whatever, but I think it's sort of an unnecessary line as far as like if I'm the hey man, great, what else? You having pizza tonight for dinner? I don't care what you do on check online. Good, go to pay your credit card online. You know, go check out a movie, go to YouTube. I don't care. You know, it's just, anyway. I don't need a receipt. I'll check it online, you incompetent teller. I'm checking on you to make sure you do your job. Oh, boy. I swear I didn't mean it that way. So now I'm just going to eliminate it. I don't need a receipt. Thank you. Have a nice day.
You're just going to watch those sellers.
Yeah, exactly. 766-9480. 766-9480. You know, it's a stressor when you pull up to it's like 2 drive-throughs open and there's like a car in each and you do the middle thing. Like you don't get behind one because the other one could drive off. So you kind of ride the middle and wait till one of them leaves. But then you're kind of glancing in the rearview mirror because someone who comes in that parking lot, they may do what you're doing. Like I pulled into the bank about 3 weeks ago, and there were 2 cars in the drive-thru, and there was someone who's sitting in the middle, like 20 yards back, and I pulled right behind him, basically, where I could go around him if I had to, but I was behind him, sort of reassuring them, I know what you're doing. You're waiting for A or B to leave, and whichever one leaves, you're going to take that spot. I'm not kidding you. The only benefit to this, Miss Peaches, was the end result. It's sort of, yin yang, karma, God. It all worked out. Two people are in each line, 2 lines open, 1 car in each. I'm in the middle waiting. This dude pulls in aggressively, just zips around me and goes right up against the one on the right. And it's like a foot from my car. Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm in the middle straddling. I'm like, I'm not going to say what I'm saying, thinking to myself in my head. I'm like, look at this guy, So anyway, he forces my hand. I have to go to the left. So I don't even look at him. I pull to the left. Right when I pull to the left, the car pulls out. I pull in, and another car comes behind me. So now there's me in the left doing my business. The person that was always there in the right, the jerk that pulled around me and pulled up against him, and then another car pulls behind me. I'm doing my usual, hey, how you doing? I don't need a receipt. I'll check it online, and I'm out. So the car behind me pulls into the slot as I drive off. There was a little satisfaction knowing if the jerk would have been behind me, he would have been up on the left side. But instead, he aggressively pulled to the right. That guy had a lot of deposits. I don't know what he's doing, putting coins in the thing. I have no clue. I'm in the left side. I'm out, and the dude who came after all of us was in line getting his business done, and the jerk in the truck had to wait. Anyway, no, that's a little nervousness when you're like straddling. You're like, is somebody going to get behind me? Or are they going to be the jerk thing,
That happens to me at the grocery.
What's that? Pipe it up, Miss. No, put your mic on, Miss Peaches. We want to hear your voice.
Test. So, yeah, that happens to me at the grocery.
Maybe we don't want to hear your voice.
Oh, maybe not.
No, I'm kidding. That's mean. That happened to you at the grocery? What? Where it's the universal line that splits into 2 or 3 different, and someone will just walk in front of the line and go to the front?
Or not even that, or you were explaining how you can even pick a line. You're like, okay, this is going to be fast. And then the person ahead of you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, that happens to me at the grocery.
He's returning something.
1 out of every 5 times you pick the wrong line at the grocery about 1 out of every 5 times.
And you're in the hurry. Like, you're really in a hurry.
No, totally. That's happened to me. That's you'd think you jumped in front of somebody, and then all of a sudden, like, hey, I got to go get the cash drawer. So I'm like, what? And then the guy, everybody's flying through on the other side. It's like, I was in line when that person walked in the store. They've done their shopping and they're checking out and leaving.
Or you left another line because you thought the other line was shorter, and you got in the other line. I've had that happen, and then the other line already went through, and yeah.
I'm not going to give up my secret at the Uptown Rouse's on Chapatoulas and Napoleon.
Oh, you're not?
No, I'm not going to give up the secret that front counter where the liquor is and cigarettes, you can check out there. I'm not going to give that secret. No, they'll be like, it's Rouse's. It's always lots of lines open, but there'll be like 6 lines open, and there'll be like 2 people in each line, which means I got to wait like a minute. And then I see the cigarette line. There's a guy getting a pack of smokes or a 5th or something. And I'm not an obnoxious jerk, Miss Peaches, with a cart. Because there's no conveyor belt. They have a scale. You can bring like an onion or that kind of thing. But, I'm bringing the basket with 6, the express line mentality, I guess, 6, 8 items. But I don't want to give that secret away because I'm in and out of that Rouse's, that big monster. that has everything on Tchoupitoulas and Napoleon. I go to that front little liquor cigarette thing, and I'm in and out in a second. And if I say that on the radio and television, a lot of people are going to beeline to that, and it's going to wreck the whole thing. And then there are a lot of people like me that are like, hey, jerk, I go to that thing and get out of there quick. Why are you telling everyone the secret? It's like the back way to the Dome. How I get to the Dome Arena, the back way. I'm not going to let you know about that one either. That one I'm really not going to let you know about. Hey, it is a wide open Wednesday. 766-9480 is the phone number. 766-9480. Miss Peaches, who is running the controls, ran the controls of an attraction back at the 1984 World's Fair, 40 years ago. Employed for the 6 months at the World's Fair. Actually, 2 attractions. Got fired from one and then came back a few weeks later, and these people that didn't know she got fired from the other one, they hired her for the remainder of the fair. Miss Peaches worked 2 different attractions at the 1984 World's Fair 40 years ago. I'm not looking for the attractions that Miss Peaches worked at. I'm looking for any attractions. Name any attraction from the 1984 World's Fair here in New Orleans, and I'll give you a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate. 50 big bucks. Good at the Woodhouse Day Spa. 5 area locations: Mid-City, New Orleans, Metairie near North Kenner, Mandeville, Slidell, Baton Rouge. They got you covered. WoodhouseSpas.com. The way to participate in the program: Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. 766-9480. Love to hear from you on this wide open Wednesday. 766-9480. Name any attraction from the 1984 World's Fair. I'll give you a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate. Hey, Mom, Sunday is Father's Day. Dad would like a full body massage, deep tissue massage at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. WoodhouseSpas.com. Tomorrow, another edition of Hillier and Hennigan. Boy, the NOPD starting to, flip the script as far as not losing overall numbers, gaining numbers now. Attrition, retirement, new cops coming through the academy, exceeding the numbers of cops leaving for the first time. So gaining numbers now, like bottoming out at 900-something officers and now growing the force. Coupled with, and this is big, and it's only about a dozen troopers right now. It'll be 40 or 50 eventually. This Troop N in New Orleans. 3 days, 3 crashes, 3 Troop N car chases, 5 arrests. Changing the mentality in New Orleans that, drifting and carjacking, stealing a vehicle, all of that. It's not just the wild, wild west, and you can get away with it in New Orleans now. NOPD, more on the attack, proactive policing, not reactive. And now Troop N doing the same, on the prowl, in their prowlers. Corey Johnson with you.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
For over 120 years, New Orleans' very own Leidenheimer French bread.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville, the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
What actually lasts a lifetime? Not much, but at Helm Paint, we have something guaranteed to last a lifetime. Benjamin Moore's Regal Select. This paint and primer in one offers cutting-edge waterborne technology, smooth application, and long durability. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, your New Orleans paint store.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
For over 20 years, serving healthy, fresh, authentic Middle Eastern cuisine, Lebanon's Cafe. In the Carrollton section of Uptown on the streetcar line, Wednesday through Monday, 11 a.m. to 9:30. Lebanon's Cafe. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Rouse's Markets phone lines 766-9480. Father's Day this Sunday, just in time. I got 50 big bucks to the Woodhouse for you. 40 years ago today, the 1984 World's Fair opened. I was a little pup. I remember it, though, vividly. All the attractions, too. All of them. I had friends that worked at the attractions. Miss Peaches worked at not 1 but 2 attractions at the 1984 World's Fair. Name any attraction from 40 years ago. Warehouse District, Riverfront, New Orleans, the 1984 World's Fair. Name any attraction from our World's Fair, and I'll give you 50 bucks. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. Mr. Clutch, the logo, Jerry West has passed away. If you like basketball just in the slightest bit, college or NBA, do yourself a favor, go on social media and check out some of the legends and some of the video posted. Jerry West talking about some of the greatest players, about the NBA in general, all kinds of stuff. Just ridiculously insightful, totally on the money, frank, honest, I like Jerry West. I mean, was an incredible talent, a great player, fierce competitor. Now, HBO had a show called Showtime about the Lakers. It only ran 2 seasons. It was I thought ridiculously well done, entertaining as hell. A lot of it fact-based, and then Hollywood embellishment and exaggeration, not in a bad way, in an exciting, fun way. The Jerry West character, especially season 1. There were only 2 seasons, then it got canceled. I can't believe people weren't watching it and didn't find it entertaining. Season 1 especially, the Jerry West character was friggin' out of control. It was Jerry West run amok. He was they embellished and exaggerated every single personality trait. They took every single story and took it up to another level. But I knew it. I didn't go, this is Jerry West. I've known enough about Jerry West. I've seen him as a GM, his demeanor, interviews over the decades, that I knew this was Hollywood embellishment exaggeration. It was great. The actor, the lines, his attitude, it was great. It made me love Jerry West even more. It just showed me how much of a hyper competitor he was, running on that theme of, I hate losing more than I love winning. And Jerry West was a great talent on the court, a great talent as an executive in the NBA. And that even Hollywood version of him, like almost like a cartoon character, seriously, halfway to a cartoon character of Jerry West. It was a caricature of Jerry West with a real human being acting as Jerry West. Even with the embellishment and exaggeration and suspend disbelief type of Hollywood thing, it was awesome and made me love Jerry West even more. Worth watching. That season 1 especially. The Jerry West character should have won an award. Just fantastic. And so well scripted and just hysterical. But Jerry West in real life, one of the best in college basketball history, one of the best in NBA history, an Olympian, one of the greatest executives. I mean, who has influenced the game of basketball in this country, around the world, seriously, more than Jerry West? There's probably a few people equal to Jerry West. There might be, and I stress might be, 1 or 2 that have more of an influence on the game than Jerry West. But I don't know. As a player, as great as it can be, I mean, he was 14 seasons, 14-time All-Star, 10-time All-NBA, 4-time All-Defensive Team, and they didn't even have that for half his career. 27 points a game, 7 assists a game, 6 rebounds a game. 9 finals in 14 seasons. They lost 8 of them. He lived it. Painful. In one of the losses, he was the MVP of the finals, and their team lost. They did win one. As an executive, 8-time NBA champ. Acquired players like Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant in a savvy trade. Predicted Kobe Bryant before he played a minute of NBA basketball, he'll soon be one of the best to ever play the game. He just knew it, he said. How could you not see it? He said he brought in Michael Cooper, had just retired. Just one of many stories you'll hear on social media today if you look for it. Brought in Michael Cooper, who had just retired and was one of the best defensive stoppers in the NBA, and had him guard like this, 18-year-old kid, Kobe Bryant. And Michael Cooper got abused, Jerry West said. And Jerry West was like, you retired at the right time. And Cooper's like, that kid's incredible. Jerry West passing away. The NOPD getting the job done more than ever lately. And now this Troop NOLA. In 3 days, 5 arrests, 3 car chases, 3 car crashes, sending the message out, carjacking, car drifting. There's NOPD out now around the streets, and there's Troop N, state troopers. And they're just going to add more troopers and another, SUV, another patrol unit, another prowler every, a few weeks, every month. It's about a dozen cops right now. They'll soon be like 40 or 50 state troopers. No, they are making a dent, sending out a message to these morons that want to carjack, want to, do the drifting, you're going to get caught and you're going to go to jail. No, the wild, wild west for New Orleans, it's kind of over. I'm not saying violent crime's over with. I'm saying the mentality of these kids from these outlying parishes. Hey, we're going to go to New Orleans and do the drifting. We're going to go to New Orleans and, drag race. It's the Wild Wild West. We don't want to do it in our parish. We're going to drive the four-wheelers in New Orleans. That mentality's changing now. Maybe the Wild Wild West, maybe we don't go do that in New Orleans. What's that, Blue Boy? Stick around. The 5 o'clock powwow next. Thank you, buddy. You're right.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
5 generations, family owned and operated. Leidenheimer French bread.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville, the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
It seems today that all you see is violence in movies and sex on TV.
But where are those good old-fashioned values on which we used to rely?
Lucky there is a family. You know, you got Simpsons craziness, then it's about 10 times higher with Family Guy, and then about 10 times higher with South Park. Drew Brees. It is indeed New Orleans, Louisiana. You are correct, number 9. Thank you for that intro. Corey Johnson back at you. 5 o'clock power hour on a wide open Wednesday. Yeah, you right. A little hot out there. Summertime in New Orleans. Stay hydrated. Lots of agua. Hopefully in a few hours, get a little coolio breeze. Like the other night, man, I was walking blue. I was totally around 7:40. Little breeze blowing. It wasn't cool. I'm not going to lie to you, but it wasn't hot and humid. It's pleasant. I wasn't perspiring. 88 degrees. Feels like about 93, 94. We got the same deal pretty much every single day. Unless there's some rain coming, we wake up to the mid to high 70s. I mean, I let Tolly out the other night at like 2, 3 in the morning. It was like 87 degrees. I was like, that is absurd. Now, we wake up in the morning, it could be 77, 78, and then we pretty much get into the 90s every day. Some days feels like over 100. I wouldn't say we've had kind of a mild summer so far, but it hasn't been ridiculously painful and brutal. We haven't had too many feels like over 100 yet. Definitely getting into the 90s, though, that's for sure. Hey, tomorrow, 4 o'clock hour, another edition of Hillier and Hennigan. Right-leaning Quinn Hillier, left-leaning Ellis Hennigan. They're never yelling at each other. Thoughtful conversation, even though about 90% of the time they totally disagree. We'll maybe get some insight, make sense of the Hunter Biden stuff, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, all of that and more. Tomorrow, another edition of Hillier and Hennigan, 4 o'clock powwow. I'll be there. 3 days, 3 crashes, 3 Troop NOLA car chases, 5 arrests. Back on Monday, a Corvette chase, Elysian Fields near North Robertson. The Corvette, they crashed into a fire hydrant, 2 arrested. That was Monday. Yesterday, stolen vehicle, Calliope and Carondelet, 2 arrested, multiple counts. Today, stolen car, crashed at the I-10 Orleans off-ramp, 1 arrested. No, there's a message that is going out loud and clear to the violent criminals in New Orleans. First off, there are only a few hundred of these violent criminals, mostly male, only a few hundred of them. I've seen the binder from the FBI. It reminded me of my old doubloon collection when I was a kid. You know, about 5 doubloons across the top, maybe 6 or 7 down. on each page. Instead of doubloons, it's a convicted felon or a felon or someone with, a arrest record, a rap sheet. The known as violent criminals, the FBI's got them. It's 300-400 in Metro New Orleans. 300 or 400. It's not thousands. There might be thousands of petty criminals, but the violent ones that could kill you, carjack, a few hundred. Aggressive arrests, gang arrests, the feds getting involved, the state getting involved, might be down 100. Instead of 400 or 300, it might be 200 or 300 total now. Now the message is being sent out to these idiots that, hey, the mild crap to you, the drifting, the drag racing, the ATVs, the dirt bike riding. I wouldn't do that in New Orleans. They're NOPD around now. There's state troopers, and those guys are aggressive. They'll chase you down. New Orleans in the Wild Wild West. We better pick another place to do this. Then when it's the more violent stuff like carjackings, stolen vehicles, the NOPD and the state police, much more aggressive, proactive policing instead of reactive policing. And it is sending out a message clear as a bell. I mean, last 3 days, 3 crashes, 3 Troop NOLA car chases, 5 arrests. New Orleans isn't the wild, wild west anymore. Your drag racing, your car drifting, your ATV riding, that kind of nonsense. You might go to jail. You might get your vehicle confiscated. And then the violent crime like carjacking, stolen vehicle, they will chase you down and they will arrest you and you will go to jail. And then a lot of these idiots already have warrants out for their arrest. So they have to double down on staying low profile now, where before there was no threat when I called it the Wild Wild West existed. Is violent crime over with? Have we crossed the goal line? Of course not. Nowhere near it. Pedal to the metal, literally and figuratively. But the message is being sent out. Crime is going down. There are more police. There are more state troopers. They're proactive instead of reactive. Hey, criminals, you better watch out. It's not a free ride anymore in New Orleans. And that is fantastic news. The annual Crime Coalition survey was released. About a 3.5% margin of error. These numbers are so extreme, it doesn't matter. Approval rating. Maybe we should call it the disapproval rating. For Mayor LaToya Cantrell, Junket Cantrell, 31% approval rating. 59% disapproval rating. Now, what's kind of amazing to me is 1 out of 3 New Orleanians approve of the job the mayor's doing. 1 out of 3. That's mind-blowing. 2 out of 3 disapprove of the job that she's doing. That seems obvious. Now, what gets really crazy and where race comes into play, in the black community, Mayor LaToya Cantrell has a 46% approval rating. It's less than 1 out of 2 black folks approve of her job, but it's almost 1 out of 2. It's almost 1 out of 2. Half of all black folks in New Orleans approve of the job LaToya Cantrell's doing. 46%. When I see a number that's 46%, it yells to me, Corey Johnson, native New Orleanian, been here my whole life, in my 50s now, been doing this for 30 years, that a lot of black folks in 2024 in New Orleans still will go with black no matter if it's broken, it's wrong, it's incorrect, it's criminal, whatever. Yes, approval rating, thumbs up. 46% is artificially high, even amongst the black community. But I believe in this poll. So when I say artificially high, I mean there's a percentage of black folks that are going to go black no matter what. Wrong or right, I'm going black. It's the wrong thing, and they're obviously guilty, I'm going black. 46%. 1 out of 2 blacks in New Orleans approve of the job LaToya Cantrell's doing. That's insane. That's embarrassing. Equal and opposite, as insane and embarrassing, white population, 11% approval rating. 11%. Now, I don't think the mayor's doing a good job. So would I go, yeah, 11%, that's about right? It's artificially low, but it's not. It's a poll. It's real numbers. What it yells, like the black number very high. Hey, I'm going black no matter what. It tells me that there's still a larger than normal percentage of white folks that black woman, black person, out. Black female, out. Female, out. There's still racism, sexism in the white community. I'm sure in the black community too, but this is the white community. LaToya Cantrell's numbers probably in the white community should be around 20% approval rating, 1 out of 5. No, I think she's terrible. I'm just telling you, I think a lot of that 11%, the number that's very low, is because of race. Like, they're not going to give these racist people aren't going to give black folks a chance, aren't going to give a woman a chance in leadership. So I think it says something about New Orleans when even we're talking about LaToya Cantrell amongst white folks, her approval rating should be like 15, 20%, not 11. And then in the black community, it's 46%. It should be like around 30, should be around 30. Anyway, in the black community, 46%. That seems ridiculously high. In the white community, a paltry 11%. You get that by default. Adolf Hitler in 1945 might have got 11%. You get that by default. And no, I'm not comparing the mayor to Adolf Hitler. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
That's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
Served in New Orleans' finest restaurants, Leidenheimer French bread.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center. It's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
It's pretty amazing. You know, this show's on radio and TV. That's not amazing. The Rouse's television commercial about in every market they're in, they're like polled number 1 grocery store in that market. New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Houma, Thibodaux, Lafayette, Lake Charles, Biloxi, Ocean Springs, Diamond Head, Mississippi, Waveland area, Mobile, Alabama, down on the beaches of Alabama, Orange Beach. It's just unbelievable. Everywhere Rouse's Markets has a location, it's that area's number 1 grocery store. Best quality, best price, best selection. Tastes like home, Rouse's Markets. Yeah, over 60 years doing you right. Corey Johnson with you, a wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Mr. Clutch, Mr. Outside, the logo. Jerry West has passed away. Jerry West has died. One of the greatest figures in basketball history. Who has influenced basketball more than Jerry West? There might be a person or two, maybe a few that are equal, but he's as big as it gets. One of the greatest players and figures in basketball, one of the greatest high school players ever, one of the greatest college players ever, one of the greatest pro players ever, one of the greatest NBA executives ever. First off, high school player, state champion, All-American, college, 3-time All-American, brought West Virginia to the 1959 national title game. They lost it, but he was still voted most outstanding player. 1960 gold medalist in the Olympics. NBA, 9 finals in 14 years. MVP. When the Lakers lost in the finals, he was the MVP. 14-time All-Star in 14 seasons. 10-time All-NBA in 14 seasons. They didn't even have this until about halfway through or more of his career. He was a 4-time All-Defensive NBA player. He led the NBA in scoring in 1970. He led the NBA in assists in 1972. He averaged 27 a game, 7 assists, 6 boards. As an NBA executive, an 8-time NBA champ. A Naismith Hall of Famer that I can count at least 3 times as a player, as an executive / contributor, and his 1960 Olympic gold medal team was inducted into the Naismith Hall of Fame. Jerry West has passed away. No, the logo of the NBA. And he doesn't want to be the logo of the NBA. He's like, pick another player. Very humble, very frank, very to the point, very truthful, has great insight into NBA players. If you like basketball in just the slightest bit, you should know what Jerry West is all about. And if you go on social media, pretty damn good job of veteran players, players from today, executives, Hall of Famers, all kind of folks associated with basketball, college, and NBA international, posting stories, posting video. I saw so many videos today of Jerry West and what he was saying. Just incredible knowledge, insight. Now, HBO had a program, a short-lived like mini-series, and I think it was about 8 episodes for season 1, maybe 8 episodes for season 2. It was called Showtime. It was about the Lakers. And the Jerry West character, especially in season 1, was incredible, worth watching. I'm going to go home tonight and pull that up on HBO and start watching season 1 again. Was it embellished? Was it exaggerated? Was it suspend disbelief? It's Hollywood. You bet it was. It was Jerry West on rocket fuel, on steroids, out of control Jerry West. Every story exaggerated, embellished. Every, personality trait, tendency exaggerated and embellished. But I'd seen enough of Jerry West through the years, through the decades, to know what he was really about, at least most of it. And I knew that was Hollywood exaggeration and embellishment, suspending disbelief. But it just made you love Jerry West. It showed you how much of a competitor he was, which was real. It showed you how much he hated losing more than he loved winning. They showed you that part of Jerry West. They showed you, the pain of going to those finals and losing to the Celtics all those years, and Bill Russell and company and Cousy and beyond. And then the great years as, a Laker executive. Just, it made me love Jerry West even more, even though I know it was exaggerated and embellished, but worth watching and gives you some insight into West. Anyone who took the character seriously, like that's the actual Jerry West, I mean, you could tell it was like a caricature. It was like halfway to a cartoon, but it was entertaining as hell, insightful, funny, informative. I loved it. I thought it was great. They kind of tapped down, sort of made him a little tamer for season 2. I think some complaints by maybe Jerry West or people involved with Jerry West didn't like how he was portrayed. I can see that, but maybe taking it a little too seriously. I think now I thought it was brilliant. And like I said, it made me love Jerry West even more. And today, hearing all these comments, someone asked about LeBron James. He's like, if I'm LeBron James, I'm going to strangle you, media. And he's like, not smiling. He's not serious either, but he's like, y'all are so wrong is what he's saying. Saying he's like a Swiss Army knife. He's a complete player, all this stuff. Just Kobe Bryant at 17, 18, knew he was going to be one of the greatest players ever. Just so many great stories, so much insight. Check out some of the videos on Jerry West on social media. It's worth it if you have any, like or love of basketball. Hey, every day this program on radio. Thanks for checking us out on radio. Oh, so fine. 93.9 FM. We're on TV for a few more minutes till 5:30. Now, you folks watching on TV, in about 2 minutes, we're done for the day on TV. But we roll till 6 o'clock on the radio. We roll till 6 o'clock on YouTube. The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on YouTube. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can check that out on your smartphone, tablet, pad, computer, YouTube. YouTube Live on the TV, your smart TV. Yeah, you folks checking us out on Cox Channel 4, statewide, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and beyond. You folks checking us out on Charter, a.k.a. Spectrum, Channel 333, statewide, Slidell, Covington, Mandeville, Cheyenne Country, Hammond, Houma, Thibodaux, Opelousas, and beyond. Yeah, we roll 4 to 5:30. 90 minutes of fun every weekday afternoon on TV. But you can check out that 5:30 to 6 o'clock last 30 minutes of our radio program on YouTube. The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. Like I said, click to subscribe. Every day, all of it, brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kennebra. And now Lamarck Crescent City Ford, the legendary Ford truck dealership under the Lamarck umbrella. Yeah, every day this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex and now Lamarck Crescent City Ford on Jefferson Highway. Yeah, as we approach 5:30, Corey Johnson with you. Yeah, you right. Thanks so much for joining us every weekday afternoon starting at 4 o'clock. CoreyTalks.com, live streaming there. You can email us too, Corey at Corey Talks. Corey spelled Kaare. Hey, TV audience, mañana, or continue on YouTube, The Neutral Ground. Yeah, it is straight down, 5:30 on this wide open Wednesday. Tomorrow, another edition of Hillier and Hennigan. Right-leaning Quinn Hillier, left-leaning Ellis Hennigan join us. The annual Crime Coalition survey released. LaToya Cantrell, 31% approval rating, 59% disapprove. City Council, 48% approval rating, 37% disapprove. NOPD, 49% approval rating, 20% disapprove. DA Jason Williams, 45% approval rating, 38% disapprove. That's the annual Crime Coalition survey. We'll break it down by demographics in a moment. The black numbers, the white citizen numbers, a little alarming on both sides. I think not representative of, I don't know how to say this. I mean, I hate saying like the righteous black or white person because that's such a broad statement. How about the black or white person that isn't so engrossed in race, just where race is just so much of a part of their life? I know as a white male heterosexual, it's easy for me to dismiss race. I get it. I don't lack empathy. And I understand as a black person, race is clearly something that is important compared to like a white guy. I mean, white people that worry about white, I'm like, I don't even get it. I don't represent white. Don't care about why. It's such a broad thing, wide open thing anyway. No, I'll break that down for you in a minute. The numbers are a little alarming when it's black and white on the mayor's approval rating. I'll fill you in a second. Don't move.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 airy locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you. Fantasy Friday. I'm jumping a few days ahead. Wide Open Wednesday. I wish it was Fantasy Friday. Wide Open Wednesday edition of the program. A little history for you. 40 years ago today, the 1984 World's Fair opened. 40 years ago today, the 1984 World's Fair opened. I was a young pup, but I remember it. 52 years ago today, apparently, on this day in 1972, Al Copeland opened a fried chicken joint in Araby down in the parish, called Chicken on the Run. Chicken on the Run. And it didn't do too well. And then Al Copeland added cayenne pepper essentially to the mix, spiced up that fried chicken, and it took off like a rocket. He reopened it as Popeye's Mighty Good Chicken. Popeye's Mighty Good Chicken. And it wasn't named after the Popeye the Sailor cartoon characters. Popeye Doyle from the French Connection, Gene Hackman's character from that movie from like 1970, 1971. Might even been like 69, that movie, The French Connection, with Gene Hackman. Popeye Doyle. That's who it was named after. So after Chicken on the Run failed, Al Copeland added cayenne pepper to his mix, and folks started buying Popeye's Mighty Good Chicken. And a few years later, by the mid-70s, it was named Popeye's Famous Fried Chicken. He ended up paying some kind of franchising fee to I forget the cartoon company, something Syndicate or something, and started using Popeye and Olive Oil and Brutus and all the Sea Hag, all the characters from the Popeye cartoon, and took on that whole deal. And then it became Popeye's famous fried chicken and biscuits. By that time, by 10 years in, early 80s, mid 80s, so we're like 10, 12 years into Popeye's existence, it was arguably the finest fast food in the history of fast food. Literally. It was fresh fried chicken, battered up and tossed in flour and deep fried on the spot. Not frozen, not pre-battered, not pre-breaded, none of that. All fresh, hand-dipped, fresh chicken, not frozen, on the spot. Fantastic, crispy fried chicken. I mean, the stuff Popeye serves today is a joke and an insult to the stuff they served 30, 40 years ago. Seriously. And then when I say the best fast food, arguably, I mean, the corn on the cob was really good. The dirty rice was really good. The onion rings were exceptionally good. They were made to order, fresh battered, fresh fried, outstanding, like as good as onion rings at like Crescent City Steakhouse, like fantastic onion rings. And then that biscuit came along and it was homemade, fresh, rolled out. They'd add a little glass window to each Popeyes where you could watch the biscuits being made, the dough being made, rolling them out, baking them in this special oven, buttering the biscuits when they were piping hot. The biscuits were absolutely fantastic. The Popeyes biscuit today is trash. It's garbage. It's like a McDonald's biscuit. It's a frozen hockey puck of crap. That's what it is. Worthless. The Popeyes biscuit, originally homemade from each Popeyes, was glorious. Like, I'm talking such a good biscuit. I would go to the drive-thru as a youngster and go, can I get a couple of biscuits only? They were buttery. They were fantastic. And now they're pure crap. Literally. And then just anything else that Popeyes had. The red beans and rice came online. They were fantastic. Like some of the best red beans and rice in New Orleans. And now it's just garbage. Popeyes is terrible. I mean, I don't even eat Popeyes anymore. I'm a native New Orleanian. I stopped when I order like a 2 or 3 piece and something's bad. Either the red beans, the biscuit, one of the pieces of chicken. Why is the white meat dark? Why is the drumstick leg broken? Things like that. Breasts that are way too big. I don't want to eat a chicken breast that's like 2 or 3 inches thick. So no, I mean, my opinion, I think Popeyes is terrible. I don't eat Popeyes anymore. Greasy, not any good. None of it. I don't eat it. But back in the day, I mean, the Super Popeyes on Veterans, the Super Popeyes on Vet, I think it's like next to probably like the Chick-fil-A or maybe the Panda King drive-thru was the Super Popeyes, right in that area. That was an Al Copeland-owned Popeyes, and he had other things on the menu like tacos and this Mexicorn with the peppers in it and gumbo and fried shrimp, all kind of different things. The Super Popeyes was incredible on Vets. I wish that still exists. I wish Al Copeland still had it. The biscuits, all of it was incredible. No, I would argue that by the early to mid 80s, probably the whole decade of the 80s, late 70s, the whole decade of the 80s, maybe even into the early 90s, but definitely late 70s, the entire 80s, Popeyes was the best fast food in the history of fast food. Highest quality, fresh, homemade, fantastic. I mean, it was really, really good. It was beyond fast food. Now it is typical fast food, just garbage like McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, Checkers, Rallies, whatever. I don't eat any of that crap. I'll occasionally hit a Chick-fil-A, which I think is ridiculously overrated and oversalted. And I don't think they're battering stuff in the store. I think it's frozen or pre-battered. It's all uniform. Way overrated. Folks love Chick-fil-A. I don't get it. I don't get it. But I'll go and get like 8 nuggets or a drink or something like that. I think it's expensive. I think it's salty, but I'll eat it. I think it's edible. It's better than all the other crap I mentioned. But I'm a Raising Cane's guy. I'm probably at Raising Cane's every other week. I get them naked. One time I went to a Cane's, like, any way to get less batter? They're like, you can get them naked. I'm like, what's that? They're like, no batter. I'm like, bingo. And then I get them a little well done, a little extra time because they're naked. You'd think the opposite, but it's if you don't get them cooked a little well done, they're a little greasy. And I think they're fantastic. Now, you're going to freak at the size. A naked Raising Cane's finger is about half the size as the breaded one, which tells you I don't want all that breaded stuff, Anyway, I'm not some health nut. I'm just trying to, it's fried. Let me try to at least not have all that batter. Anyway, no, I eat some Cane's like that, and I might get some Chick-fil-A, and that's it. I don't eat fast food too much. It's just, I'd eat it if it was good, if I enjoyed it. I used to like a Whopper, and then I remember getting about halfway through the Whopper, and just that gray meat, I was like, man, it just became unappetizing. So I switched to the Whopper Junior, which I'd finish it and be like, I could do one more bite, but I was sort of satisfied. But my last Whopper Junior was probably like 1990 something. Last McDonald's, I was at LSU in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, last McDonald's. Haven't had Wendy's since high school, literally. I've never eaten at a Taco Bell. I've never had a Rally's or Checkers burger in my life. Never. I've had Rally's fries, I think, one time. Never been to Arby's. Just no Jack in the Box. I think I went to Jack in the Box once. It was horrible. I went to Whataburger. What a terrible burger. Just awful. And, I went to Shake Shack. I thought it was like Five Guys. Just really, I'm better than fast food, but really mediocre. I mean, I guess as an emergency, I'd eat it. I need to try Atomic Burger again. Folks are like, tell me Atomic Burger in Metairie is better than Shake Shack, better than Five Guys. Seems like a fast food burger or fast food-ish burger, like fast casual. Somebody could make just like a kick-ass burger for like $10. That would be really good that you'd want to eat. I haven't been to Small's Sliders yet. I don't know if I'll ever go to Small's Sliders. There's nothing really there that I'm like, boy, I really want to go try that. I wish there was like a local joint, a standalone, like Locals that did some little kick-ass burgers like that. But nothing about Small's Sliders makes me want to run to go eat that. Hey, tomorrow, another edition of Hillier and Hennigan. Fired up about that because the Hunter Biden stuff, just crazy. Trump, Biden, presidential campaign, crazy. And then Israel and Ukraine and so much other stuff, crazy. The economy, the border. Another edition of Hillier and Hennigan. Hopefully, right-leaning Quinn Hillier, left-leaning Ellis Hennigan can make some sense of all this tomorrow in the 4 o'clock hour. They'll join us. A couple of native New Orleanians that are national pundits and authors as well. It is a wide open Wednesday. Hey, for some of the finest Middle Eastern food in Metro New Orleans, Lebanon's Cafe. They open up at 11. They're open throughout the day, and they roll till 9:30. That's right. Open till 9:30 tonight. Open till 9:30 every night. Some of the finest Middle Eastern food. Make it Lebanon's Cafe tonight for dinner.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football
She
kibbe.
did.
You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
Since 1896, a true taste of New Orleans. Leidenheimer French bread.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. Wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Blue Plate Mayonnaise, a New Orleans tradition. As New Orleans as it gets, I've never, ever purchased any other mayonnaise but Blue Plate Mayonnaise in my life. It's at your local grocery store. Boy, I saw a big end-of-aisle display at a Rouse's the other day. It must have been a couple of 100 jars of Blue Plate at a ridiculously low price. Spread the love. New Orleans' own Blue Plate Mayonnaise. Wide open Wednesday edition of the program. 3 days, 3 crashes, 3 troop and car chases, 5 arrests made. Back on Monday, a Corvette chase ended around somewhere around Elysian Fields, North Robertson, running into a fire hydrant. 2 arrests made by the state troopers. Yesterday, stolen vehicle, Calliope, Carondelet, 2 arrests, multiple counts. Today, stolen car crashes into the I-10 Orleans off-ramp. 1 arrests. 5 arrests in 3 days, 3 car chases. Troop NOLA making a difference in New Orleans. And there are about maybe 10 or 12 state troopers manning Troop NOLA right now. Like 10 or 12. That number's expected to grow to 40 or 50. So with 10 or 12 troopers in New Orleans, what do you have? A half dozen units, squad cars, SUVs, Prowler, whatever you want to call it, cop car. You got maybe half dozen for those 10, 12 cops. When you have 40 or 50, a lot more cops, few more dozen, few more vehicles on the street, a bigger presence. Add that to the NOPD, which is increasing their presence on the street. No, this wild, wild west mentality that Orleans Parish has had for years, where folks from other parishes with their four-wheelers, with their drifting attitude, drag racing mentality, and carjackers and folks that are, stealing vehicles, they're going, wow, it ain't the wild, wild west in New Orleans anymore. We could get caught and go to jail. It's not no holes barred. It's wide open. It's the opposite. The NOPD's presence is a lot bigger. It can be felt. And now these hyper-aggressive, proactive state troopers, their presence most definitely can be felt. And the results they're getting can be felt. So this reverberates throughout the community like dropping a rock in a pond. And these criminals, it's only a few hundred. They're like freaking out. They're like, yeah, maybe we don't want to do the stupid drifting thing because Jimmy went to jail. Maybe we don't want to go drag race because Freddie went to jail. Maybe we don't want to, do carjacking or steal a vehicle because Corey went to jail. Whatever. Whoever. No, these idiot criminals are smart enough to have basic kindergarten deductive reasoning skills. And when more NOPD are out there and they see them, and then they see these state troopers, and they see these state troopers with the lights on pulling over somebody. Now, when we say 3 days, 3 crashes, 3 chases, how many folks have the state troopers pulled over and let go or wrote a ticket to? It's got to be dozens that they've let go with a warning or written tickets to if there are this many chases and arrests. So that sends out a message. Look, they pulled over so-and-so. No, he didn't go to jail, but still, man, they pulled him over. These fake license plates, stolen vehicle, no brake tag, no tail light, dark tint, all reasons to pull a vehicle over. And it's leading to folks that had arrest warrants, guns, drugs, illegal activities. It's not profiling. How can you be profiling when you're pulling somebody over that has tint that's too dark, they don't have a license plate, they don't have a brake tag, or they have a tail light out? Or they're speeding, or they're driving recklessly. How can that be profiling, especially the ones about the tint, no license plate? It's amazing. The hyper left, the loony left, the woke super progressives think it's profiling. It's like, what are you hiding? No one's profile. I'm not into profiling, going after certain demographic because of race, sex, creed, religion, whatever. But you don't have a license plate on your vehicle? That's profiling. Your tint's too dark? That's profiling. No tail light? That's profiling. No, that's hyper woke, loony liberal crap. Garbage. Corey Johnson with you on a wide open Wednesday. Boy, I thought the other day, Bill Maher, I was like, man, Bill, are you checking out my program? He nailed the woke thing the other day. Words change. How long have I been saying this? I use bogus as an example. When I was a kid, bogus meant counterfeit. It didn't mean not real. Man, this is a bogus party. It's bad. No, the party's real. It might be bad, but it's not bogus. It's not counterfeit. It's legitimate. We're at a party. It's real. So it's not bogus by the old definition. But if the party sucks, it's bad, bogus works today. The definition has moved. It's changed. Still means counterfeit, but also means bad now. Didn't before. Just meant counterfeit. Woke is the same thing. Woke used to mean aware. You know, that's how it first came out. Aware, especially of, having empathy of race, sex, creed that isn't you. Black community. Now woke has it's morphed into not being aware. It's turned into about awake or woke, the past tense of awake or whatever. It means hyper left, loony liberal, progressive, crazy, extreme. Let's get Abraham Lincoln's name off that school building, that kind of extreme. No, words and meanings change over time. And Bill Maher nailed it. And I've been talking about that for years. So folks that think I'm, hey, you're using the word woke incorrectly. I'm not. I'm not using the old definition, the original. That's been ruined and wrecked. It now means loony, liberal, hyper left. No, it's not profiling. It's making New Orleans safer in a legitimate way. What's that, Blue Boy? If you were running around, yes, without tags, it would be illegal for me and you, buddy. Yeah, the state troopers, the NOPD would have a right to pull you over. You're all tagged up, buddy. Vaccinated up. Got the tags to prove it. You're legal, buddy. Hey, New Orleans, see you tomorrow, 4 p.m. Be there.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.